So yeah, as I promised, I came back. So I really think about a reel I just see one day ago, which David Goggins is running and he's saying, "I'm back, motherfucker. I am back." Just that's how I am also back. I am also back because I promised as I promised. Because in our before live session, we are actually talking about how to actually quit addiction, and I also promised that I will make part two about this, because in our part one we are actually talking about how to quit addiction, and we are known. I will give you a quick summary of that. We are actually discussing about two types of addiction, four stages of addiction, and science behind addiction, like dopamine type chemical, and I also give you two research about those dopamine. So if you don't check out this till now, you will go to my channel and see those video, which is title is how I actually quit all of my addiction. So in our today's video, we are actually talking about how to actually quit all of the addiction, and it's the solution based. So in this video we are talking about five science based solution of how to actually quit all of your addiction step by step. So in our first step, which is actually science based, remember that I actually research all of this and telling you by after optimizing it, and after a very, well, whatever set of concern, thinking all of it. So you have to just sit and apply all of the single solution which I tell you right now. So if you don't subscribe our channel right now, till now you will go and subscribe, click the subscribe button, and below comment and say yes, I will watch the video and subscribe, so that I can understand you are actually engaging and joining our journey. So the first step is the first solution you have to actually do, if you're also serious about quitting all of your addiction, is accept yourself. Yes, you have to accept yourself first, because most of the people in this generation who actually have addiction are don't actually accept themselves, because it's uncomfortable. Like you have to acknowledge your addiction. You have to say this: yes, I have addiction. I have this alcohol addiction, cigarette addiction, porn addiction, or any types of addiction. You have to first acknowledge that. You have to say to yourself, yes, I have this addiction, and yeah, and I accept it, because this is the most important part, and this is the first step. Because if you don't accept your addiction, so how gonna you think that you will actually remove those addiction from your life. So the first step is, because you have to become identify your addiction and acknowledge it every single day, and don't just stuck to it. You have to just accept it. You have to just accept and saying to yourself that yes, I have this that addiction, and I accept it. And you have to be proud if you actually accept it, because this is the most important part. People are actually feel discomfort, and they don't feel comfortable if they have any addiction, and they have to actually remove those addiction from their life, because this is not that easy as it here. It's very hard to actually quit addiction, which is actually becoming a habit all of your daily lives. So now I will ask you three questions. If your answer is yes, all of the twos or threes, all of the threes question, then yes, you have addiction, and you have to acknowledge and accept it first. So the first question is, do your addiction. So the first question is, whenever you are doing something that you are addicted, go 5 minute turn into hours. If yes, then you are addicted, my brother. If you're like just I just solved this queue, and I'm addicted to this basically, and this is good part, because this is my hobby and I want to be sub 10, which is less than 10 seconds to solve this queue. So don't it is the outer part. So what I'm talking, I just solve a queue. And if I want to know that if is I actually addicted to solving queue, I have to just ask one question first. Is the 5 minutes actually turn into hours? Like I solve queue right now, and if I just doing it for 5 minutes, and then gradually time increases and it turns into 20 minutes to 5 hours, 20 minutes to 1 hour. suddenly, and you don't realize it, after those 1 hours you are just suddenly have a realization. You have a hit that yes, my time is going, my time are wasting, or my time are actually in a good state. So yes, you have addiction. Acknowledge it first. And the second thing is, do you feel dull or sad without it? If you feel, then you have addiction. Like talking about video, like we are talking about video game in our first part. So as if like if you are also addicted to video games and you don't have video games, like your battery power are dies, or your phone is going to hang, or your mother is not in your home, and you play video games in your mother's phone, then you feel very sad and dull all over the days because you don't do the thing which you are addicted or which give you dopamine. If you don't know what is dopamine, I will discuss it. We will discuss it at the first point, at the first part of this live session. So go there and watch it. Then, if you also feel sad and dismal without those things, then yes, it is your addiction. It can be a good addiction like this cube, or it can be a bad addiction like video game or porn, cigarette, alcohol. So if these two question and yes, I asked the two question, and if your answer is yes to all of the two, then yes, my brother, you have addiction. And acknowledge this for first that you have addiction. So the third question gonna be, do you feel guilty after doing those things? If you feel guilty, but now in those 2 points, it's actually for good addiction and bad addiction. But now in this third question, it is actually for only just bad addictions. Like for example, if I do solving cube, it's a good addiction. It actually improve my critical thinking. It actually improve my sense of doing something quick like this. So whenever I am sitting and doing and solving cubes, and after I stand after I stand with proud that yes, I can actually solve cube under 10 seconds. So I feel very happy. But if you have a bad addiction like video games, porn, or cigarette addiction, you feel very guilty after doing those addiction. So are you also feel that? Are you also feel guilty after doing addiction? Then yes, you have a very bad addiction, and you have to acknowledge it first. So there are a practical solution of this point that you have to accept yourself. And the thing is commit to change. So what I mean by commit to change is you have to tell someone that yes, I have this addiction and I want to change. Like it can be your friends, close friends, it can be your cousins, it can be your siblings, anyone. You have to just commit to them. You have to just go to them and say this. I have this addiction, and basically not saying those types of addiction like porn addiction or cigarette. They will beat you, or they will tell your mother that about that. Tell about little addiction, or your actionable step, or your call to action, or your challenge is you have to just go to comment and write your all of the addiction, because in comment there are no one who will judge you, but people will judge you. It's a harsh truth, but our comment section doesn't judge anyone. So just below comment and leave a comment what type of addiction you have, and say to yourself that I have addiction and I want to change. That's why I was watching this video. So till now, if you are watching right now and then you are actually feeling good, you are actually wanted to get all of your addiction and quitting all of your addiction, and you are serious. So go to the channel and click the subscribe button right now. So our second solution which we gave, and which is needed to apply in our life in order to quit all of the addiction which we have, is our shift of dopamine. If you don't know dopamine, what is dopamine? Dopamine is a happy hormone. Whenever we are feel very happy from any types of bad addiction or good addiction, from any types of bad stuff, bad thing, or good stuff, good thing, we have a chemical release which is called dopamine, and it feels us happy. It makes us happy. So if you want to quit your all of the bad habit or addiction, you have to shift your dopamine. So basically, suppose you have a crave of sugar and you feel, no, not this. like you are addicted to playing video games, and video games is actually giving you dopamine. So what you have to do in order to shift your dopamine is redirect cravings. Like after having a crave of playing video games, like you are sitting on your couch or chair, and you have suddenly a crave on your mind that yes, I have to play video games, and but you watch this video. So what you have to do, you have to shift your dopamine by redirect cravings. Like you have suddenly a craving of playing video games. What you have to do, you have to just shift those craving, like redirect those craving and do some other things like solving cubes, like do anything like studies or going to outside playing with your friends, anything. And you can actually engage to alternate activities. Like I say, if you have a craving of playing video games, what do you have to do instead of that? What is the alternative choice you have? You can go to outside and play football, basketball with your friends. You have to go to outside and just walking for 5 minutes. So this is the only solution. And the third thing which is help you to shift your dopamine is substitute desires. And now we are taking example of sugar. Like now I'm sitting in my couch and recording, and before that I have a craving of eating something sugary like sweets. It can be any chocolate, it can be anything. I just have a desire to actually eating something sweet like chocolates. But I shift and substitute my desires. When I have a desire, like I have to eat some chocolates or sweets, I say to my brain, and I actually take action and going to my fridge and taking an apple and eating all of it. So what is happening in this? You are just substitute your desires. You have a desires of eating any types of sweets food like chocolate or cakes or any types of dessert, but you substitute your desire and eating something healthy. And this will shift all of your dopamine system, and you are actually being able to quit those instant desires and cues all of from your brain. And that's how you're actually now get safe from your addiction. And third thing, which is actually the practical and permanent solution of quitting any types of addiction. And the third step, which is actually science based, is, and before that I have to just take 2 minute rest because my throat is actually hurting right now. You can see it in my voice. My voice is becoming lower and lower by the time when I speak. I think I just covered three steps only in this video, two step on another video, or a particular another video in another time, because my vocal are very hurt right now, and I feel very hurted at my vocal because I'm fasting right now. So I don't I don't drink any types of water right now. So I feel very unwell at my vocal. So after just finishing third point, I will cut off this live. So our third point, which is actually help you to get rid of all of your addiction, is, and this is the permanent solution. So remember it every single time when you have addiction or you are forming addiction. And the third step is find your triggers. So what is triggers? Triggers is something about cues. And now you have question, what is cues? Sahil, what are you talking about? Triggers and cues. So the trigger and cues is something like, now right now I am solving a cube. I just taking example of cubes because it's easy to understand, and I also can easily explain you better with a cube example. So right now I am solving a cube, and what is the trigger point or cues of the action behind this cube solving? So what is this action? Why I taking this action, which is cube solving? This is for our cues and triggers, which is actually inspire us and push ourselves to do the actual action. It is also happen with our bad habits, like whenever we have urge and craving to play video games, we have a trigger point. Like we see those video games in social media, or we hear it from our friends. Right now, then we have craving to actually do those bad habit or addiction in our life. It also happen with good habits, but it's mainly happen with bad habits. So you have to identify environmental cues, like what is actually giving you inspiration and what is actually push you to do those bad addiction. Like it can be your social media addiction. What is the actual environmental cues which actually push you and inspire you and encourage you basically to do those bad habits. It can be your phone. Whenever you are watching your phone, you actually have those urge in your mind and craving in your mind that yes, I have to open Instagram and watching those bullshit content like model pics, like very sexualized content nowadays. Whatever, it's the another topic. So you have to identify those environmental cues and removing that. Yes, this is as simple as that, but it's not that simple as it here, because you have to actually have many friction in order to actually remove all of the environmental cues from your life. So yeah, that's it for this video. Right now my vocals are very hard and I think it will burn out and it blast right now. But yeah, I made two live videos right now in just 1 hours. I made two live videos. It's a perfect win for me. So yeah, that's it for this video. I will see you in another video of this journey. Take care, take action. Goodbye, everyone.